And made some big shots, some plays. Starting to see a glimpse of the things he can do scoring the ball. Like I told the guys after the game, we're a game past the quarter mark. We've played, an incredibly dense schedule. I think we've played more games than anyone in the league. And guys were tired tonight. We couldn't buy a basket. Had a lot of good looks. Tired shooting the ball, but also tired in that we were a little stagnant against the zone after a really good performance against it the other night. So, overall, just the fact that they hung in there and that James stepped up and made some big shots down the stretch.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post. Brian, you're muted.
Brian, you're muted. I don't know if you can hear me.
All right, let's try Alex Schiffer. Oh, there we go.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. You had talked earlier about you wanted James to be more aggressive, and you figured this was coming, that it would happen. Was this a matter of game flow, and obviously KD wasn't hitting some of the shots he normally was? Was that game flow, or did he make a conscious decision to get more aggressive? James, I'm saying.
You'd have to ask him. I give James his space offensively. He's one of the greatest offensive players to ever play the game. So I trust in him figuring out where he's at with his game and how he can affect the game. He does so many things manipulating the defense that he's such a positive for us, even if he's not scoring. But we know how capable a scorer he is. And, he got it going, got a little aggressive, got on a little bit of a roll and made some plays and showed what a tough cover he is. And, that's obviously the place we want him to get, where, he's confident and has freedom to create and is balancing scoring and playmaking.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, you mentioned that you guys had a bit of a slow start offensively. Then just as the game went on, you guys continued to improve. Was that anything tactical, or was it simple as shots just starting to go in?
You're kind with a bit of a slow start, but no, it really wasn't tactical. I think, like I said, the schedule's been, obviously very difficult. Like I said, I think we've played the most games in the league. You could see the mental and physical fatigue a little bit out there tonight. We're a little bit stagnant. The ball stuck a little bit more. Where our thoughts were a little bit slower, and you add it all up, we couldn't buy a basket. But I was proud of the guys for hanging in there and just finding a way to give themselves time. And obviously Miami was exhausted too, so they didn't shoot the ball well either. And but the most important thing is that our guys found a way to combat all those ways that we could have, found an excuse to lose this game. We kept plugging away. We guarded. Second half, I think we gave up 40 points, 14 in the fourth, and then our offense kind of picked up at the end there. But it was one of those tricky games. And like I keep saying, we're going to see games like this throughout the season. We've seen all sorts of crazy scores, crazy upsets, a lot of people hovering around 500, and that's just the nature of this season. And we have to be prepared to win some of these games when, you're not feeling it.
Greg Logan with News.
Steve, did you change anything defensively in the fourth period? You got 10 straight stops during that 15-0 run. Was that just because Miami was a little undermanned tonight, or did your guys step it up on defense?
The coaching was outstanding, Greg, I would say, first and foremost. Look, I think you had two tired teams out there, and our guys stepped up to the challenge when they were tired. I thought, Bam got going a little bit for a minute, and then Jeff stepped up and really did a great job making it difficult for him. But the rest of the guys off the ball were diligent. It's the guys, the players, because they have to step up. We kept it very simple defensively, and they did a good job down the stretch.
Bruce Beck with NBC New York.
Steve, you have the top three scorers in the league in the fourth quarter. What is it like to have that option, and do you know who it's going to be on a given night, or is it just kind of play out? That's the way this team is built. We went for it and have three great offensive players. So, on any given night, it could be any one of them, or it could be Joe Harris. It could be someone else. So,
Those guys also make each other and their teammates better by the attention they draw. So it's about trying to find that collective threat, by the ball moving, by spatial awareness and understanding, and making each other better collectively. So, on certain nights, our guys are so capable of getting hot that it could be any one of them. But the idea is that it's his turn tonight. That emerges, and we welcome it. But we're going to play good basketball. We're going to create good opportunities, and we're going to step up and shoot the ball. And if we create good opportunities more times than not, we'll be in a good position.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach, when Sean spoke shortly after the trade, he said the hole in the roster that trading Jarrett created gives room for somebody else to kind of seize the moment and try to make, I guess, a name for themselves. What have you seen from Reggie in his minutes? Obviously he's a rookie and he's kind of been thrown into the fire, but just what have you seen from him out there? And have you seen any type of maybe chemistry building between him and James out there? It looks like they're trying to figure themselves out there.
Yeah, look, I'm a fan of Reggie's. I think he's, if I'm honest, struggling a little bit out there, and that's to be expected. He's in his first 120 minutes in the NBA, and so whatever it is. So you have to give him time to adapt to the game in short minutes. He's a guy that was a top prospect his whole life, played the whole game, does whatever he wants, and now he's got to fill in a role and adapt to the NBA game. So. But I'm a fan. He can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble. He's a versatile five in the modern game, but he's still a young kid trying to figure out how he fits into a team with stars. So it's something that's going to take time with Reggie, but I believe in him, and I think he's got a bright future.
Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Steve, coming into tonight, James, Kevin, and Kyrie all ranked in the top 5 for minutes in a game since James joined this team. Is that something you're kind of resigned to, that these stars are just going to get a lot of miles on their body, or is it something you're kind of monitoring to try to change throughout the rest of the season?
No, we definitely want to monitor it and avoid, that type of, minutes. It's difficult as we try to sort out our second unit and rotations. Because you get in the game and, if you have a chance to win, you want to win, and you want to try to play the guys that are going to get you that win. But I definitely don't want to, overdo it and play them too much. So that's tricky. And they're competitive, and when you take them out, they're not happy. And so we're trying to find that line of we need to win games, but we also need to preserve them for later in the season. And we've had an incredibly difficult stretch where we've played more games than anyone in the league. So we're trying to find that balance where we can get our rotations down, get that newness out of the way, gel, and at the same time not have to play those guys high 30s or 40 minutes a game.
Coach, we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Good night.